Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Sarah. So before we get into today's video, I have a little bit of housekeeping to do, and that is to let you know that my videos are running a little late. If you hadn't noticed, I was doing so good on my schedule, and then 2021's like, you think this is over just because of the new year? Psych. And I threw up my back on January 2nd. So that put me out of commission for about 4 days. Hopefully I can get caught up and back to it very, very soon. Now today I would like to talk about all of the books that I read in 2020. I did a lot better in 2020. In 2019, I think I only read like 7 or 8 books. And in 2020, I read 13. Still not where I would like to be. My goal was 52, but we're in an upward trajectory. So I guess let's get right on into the books. So y'all know I'm a little bit of a weirdo, a little bit OCD, and I have trouble with decisions. So I give myself parameters on how I choose what book to read next. Honestly, I'm just going alphabetical order. This takes away a little bit of the overwhelming feeling. So the first book I read in 2020 was Adulting by Kelly Williams Brown. I actually really liked this book. It was actually really informative and really funny. I would definitely recommend this book. I plan on rereading this quite a bit to, let the information sink in to my brain and maybe one day become a real adult. It could happen. Next, I read American Babe by Babe Walker. This is actually number 3 in a series, but it was, I think, I haven't read the other 2, but I think it was still pretty okay to read on its own. I'm so on the fence with whether to keep this one because I enjoyed it, but I don't know if I enjoyed it that much. It was okay. Maybe that's because I didn't read the first 2. It's about this heiress, but she's kind of a hot mess, and her dad gives her kind of an ultimatum, so she runs away to her estranged mom's side of the family and meets them. She's used to Bel Air, and they live in small town Maryland. Shenanigans ensue. My favorite character was Knox, who was her little cousin, I think. Mediocre. I give it maybe a 3.5. I'm really bad at rating things, but maybe a 3. Maybe a 2.5. I don't know. It was okay. I didn't hate it. Next, I read Binge by Tyler Oakley. It was fairly decent. It was funny. It was well written. It's just kind of a personality clash type thing. Next was Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate. I actually really liked this one, and now I really want to find more books on the subject. So this is about some kids that get kidnapped from their parents while I believe their mom is off having another baby, and they get put into the Tennessee orphanage. This was a real thing in the 1930s, so I'm really anxious to read more about that because it sounds super interesting and also heartbreaking. So the next book I read is one of the Clue books. There's a whole young adult, it's a whole mid-grade series. It's kind of simplistic, but it's a fun little brain exercise. They give you different scenarios and you have to figure out the mystery. The next book that I read was Crazy Rich Asians. This is another one that I've already unhauled because it wasn't really my cup of tea. It wasn't a bad book, it was funny. My favorite character was Eleanor, the main character's cousin. I actually probably will continue in the series because I really want to know what happens next. This is a book about a girl who is dating this guy for years actually, and then she finally goes with him to meet his family in Singapore, and she finds out that he is ridiculously rich. It's not bad, it's well written, it just wasn't my cup of tea. Next, I read Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I was really excited for this book, but also a little apprehensive because it's so hyped up, and I was scared to be disappointed, but I was not. It is everything and more that everyone says it is. It is amazing, and I loved it so much. It was just so beautifully put together and beautifully written, and I can't wait to read more Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was amazing and 10 out of 10 would recommend. Then I have Dream It Listed, Do It. I got this book at a book sale somewhere sometime, so I had no idea about this, but apparently there's a website called 43things.com. It's where you put together a bucket list, or 43 things that you want to focus on doing. It's just a big bucket list of things, and it was really cool to read and really cool to get ideas for things that I want to do in my life. So that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. And then I read a book called Expect the Unexpected. It was a mid-grade embarrassing stories from middle school. See, I have this thing where I can't get rid of books no matter what until I read them. So I am reading all of these mid-grade books that I acquired in middle school that I haven't read, and so I read them so I can give them away or save them for my children or whatever. So yeah, that's what I read. It was cute, but mid-grade. So I got rid of that. And then I read Eat More Chicken by S. Truett Cathy. He is the founder of Chick-fil-A, and this is his story biography. It was really interesting to read his ideas on business. Yeah, I got some life advice, some business advice. I really admire their philosophy of treating employees well and treating customers well. It was a pretty good read. Although I always find people like this to be like a little bit full of themselves. I guess you kind of have to be in that position, but yeah, that's just how I felt about it. Next, I read this Full House book. I think it's like Kiss a Frog Princess. I like these because they're really nostalgic because they're like exactly the episodes, which I normally hate, but I like in this. I don't know, whatever. Oh gosh, I don't remember what this one was about, but it was a Full House episode. It was nostalgic, it was reminiscent, it was fun. So then this one came out in November and I had to read it as soon as I got it. Like I literally read it the night I got it and I read it all in one night because it's just a book of poetry, but it's I Would Leave Me If I Could by Halsey. It was a bit uncomfortable at parts, but like uncomfortable because it's raw and real and it was really good. I'm very picky about poetry, but I really liked this, maybe just because I'm obsessed with Halsey. I don't know. If you like her songs for more than just like dance songs, but like because, you know, they speak to you and make you feel something, this would be a really good book for you. I really loved it. And then I started The First Wives Club by Olivia Goldsmith. It's really killing me that I started a book in 2020 and didn't finish it in 2020, but it's so big and I already put so much time into it that I don't just want to shelf it and pick it back up later because that would just be frustrating and I might not. So I'm still reading that, but I started that in 2020. I got like about 100 pages in, I think, and that is just about 3 first wives whose millionaire husbands leave them for younger, blonder, skinnier girls, and them kind of getting fed up with it and taking their revenge. So that's been fun so far. So yeah, that's everything that I read in 2020. I know it's kind of short. I didn't do a lot of reading despite having a lot of extra free time, but hopefully I will be able to read a lot more this year. I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me what your favorite book that you read in 2020 was in the comments. Like this video and subscribe. That would mean a whole lot to me. And I will see you very soon with a new video, hopefully sooner rather than later. Hopefully we can get back on schedule. And yeah, that's it. Okay, have a great day. I love you. Bye!